Paul Heyman is standing next to Brock Lesnar heading into Hell in a Cell like nothing's changed. I don't think that's how this ends. The restraining orders, the insults thrown at Oba Femi, that emotional tribute Heyman gave Brock weeks ago. Watch all of it back to back and one question won't leave you alone. What happens when the greatest manager in wrestling history has already decided the next era belongs to someone else? And if that someone is Oba Femi, Hell in a Cell might not be the night Brock reclaims anything. It might be the night Heyman finally lets him go. Stick with me, the last piece of this actually convinced me. Welcome back to WWE Galaxy, I'm Nova. Everyone assumes Heyman's loyalty to Brock is permanent, but Heyman has never been a man who looks backward. He looks at who's next. And I think Oba Femi has had his attention for a lot longer than any of us assumed. Here's the thing people keep getting wrong about Heyman. They frame this as a loyalty question, will he stay with Brock or won't he? That's not how Heyman has ever operated. He doesn't attach himself to people, he attaches himself to moments. And right now the biggest moment in WWE isn't Brock chasing one more chapter. It's whether a 20-something Nigerian powerhouse can finish what he started at WrestleMania and permanently take the spot Brock spent 2 decades owning. So the real question isn't why would Heyman leave Brock? It's why would Heyman ever pass up being standing next to the man who actually wins that fight? And this is where it stops being theory and starts being math. Femi had a guaranteed world championship opportunity at SummerSlam. Locked in. Guaranteed. He turned it down. To chase Brock a 3rd time in a cage. Sit with that for a second. Nobody gives up a guaranteed title shot for a grudge match unless the grudge match means more to their story than the title does. That's not obsession. That's a man who's decided this specific fight is the one that defines the rest of his career. Bigger than a championship. Bigger than anything else on the card. Heyman called him overrated on the SummerSlam kickoff show. You don't build a running insult around someone you consider irrelevant. You build it around someone you can't stop thinking about. And then there's the detail that actually flips this whole thing. On Raw, Heyman brought actual police officers out to protect himself and Brock from what he called Femi's obsession. But watch what he said next. He admitted Brock is just as obsessed with Femi. That's not a manager protecting his client from a stalker. That's a manager who knows exactly how much value is sitting on the other side of that cage, and he's making sure everyone watching feels it too. Real quick, if this theory's got you thinking, smash the like button and subscribe to WWE Galaxy. Alright, back into it. Here's the piece that actually convinced me this isn't just fan fiction. Heyman just walked away from the vision. Left him behind the moment they stopped being useful to his story. That's not a small detail. That's the most recent example of exactly how Heyman operates when a partnership has run its course. No dramatic goodbye, no hesitation, he just moves. Now put that next to how much of his airtime lately has actually been about Femi rather than Brock. Every promo, every insult, every appearance, he's not just hyping his own client anymore, he's building the value of his client's opponent in real time, on camera, week after week. That's not something a manager does by accident, that's a man laying groundwork. So picture Hell in a Cell in Minneapolis, Brock's home state, the place he's supposed to close the book on Femi for good. If Brock wins, fine, this theory doesn't happen and Heyman gets one more chapter with the man who built his legend. But if Femi wins, decisively, cleanly, the way this trilogy has been building toward, the most devastating image of that night isn't Brock losing the match. It's Paul Heyman walking to Oba Femi's side afterward. Not out of betrayal in the moment, just because that's what he's always done. Find whoever's next. Choose them the second the story tells him to. Femi isn't trying to become the next Brock Lesnar. He's trying to become the reason Heyman finally stops looking backward. Heyman has never stayed anywhere out of sentiment. He stays where the story is going next. Right now, more of that story is pointing at Oba Femi than at the man he's supposedly protecting. Drop your take in the comments. Does Heyman stay loyal to Brock through Hell in a Cell, or does Oba Femi walk out of Minneapolis as the next Paul Heyman guy? Like the video, subscribe to WWE Galaxy, and I'm Nova. See you after SummerSlam.